What's up, Daydreamers? It's Cinematic Daydream. We are trying something a little different on the channel today. I wanted to branch out a little bit and do something a little challenging or something I'm not totally comfortable with. Welcome to 16 Personalities. I took this test when I was in high school, just with my high school friend group. I do remember what I got, but I'm going to save that until the end so we can compare and contrast in case we get something different or if we get the same. But yeah. Let's get right into it. I'm excited. I'm going to take the test here. You regularly make new friends. I'm very much an introvert. I don't really like socializing all that much. But on the same side, I am a very kind and friendly person. Or at least I like to see myself as that. So slightly disagree. That sounds right. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. Now for this one, I would say agree. Especially when it comes to stories or ideas of that regard, so I'm gonna go ahead and do strongly agree. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. Now this is an interesting one because I feel like as I've grown older, the answer to this has fluctuated because I very much value the facts, but I am still very emotionally driven. I'm gonna say barely agree because sometimes I lead with my heart in making decisions. Of course, I still do go by facts, but I'm gonna say more on the agree side. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. I am guilty of having a little bit of mess sometimes. But overall, I like to stay organized. I'm gonna put neutral agree, I would say. Yeah, usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. Strongly disagree. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Strongly agree. I know that very quickly. 10% done. Holy smokes, this is a long quiz. I mean, I guess it has to be long to accurately judge. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. I would say so. Lately, I have been subject to procrastination, unfortunately. I'm gonna go with this one. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. I'm gonna go neutral. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Oh, strongly agree. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Lately, this has been a bit of a stronger one, so I'm going to go agree here. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. No. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. I'm going to go disagree here. I love speaking about stories with people and, hearing their side of things, how they perceived certain aspects of the plot or of characters or stuff of that nature, so I'm gonna go the second from the strongly disagree. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. I'm very much a people pleaser, so I feel like while yes, it is important to judge by the facts, I don't always do that. I'm gonna go the first level of disagree here. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. That seems right. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Y'all are seeing the true me. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. I mean, it depends on what the activity is, frankly. I am gonna have to go with disagree. Yes, I am a team player, but would I choose to do something on my own versus with a team? Then that brings in the whole nightmares of group projects from school. I'm gonna go with disagree here. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. To an extent, but I also like doing things my own way. I am willing to try new things. I'm gonna go neutral. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. I would say yes. I think this also has to do largely with being a people pleaser. I value connections with people. While yes, I believe honesty is extremely important. Sometimes being honest can be harmful. That sounds really bad out loud. But for the sake of being honest with my true self, I am going to go slightly agree with this one. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. That depends on what new experiences means. Yes, I love learning. I'm very much a lifelong learner. This begs the question of would I choose to go skydiving for the new experience? No. I would rather sit at home and read a good book with some hot chocolate and a cozy blanket. That's the kind of person I am. So I'm gonna go with the second strongest of the disagree. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse.
A shout out to everybody with social anxiety. I kind of feel sorry for you.
You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Oh my gosh. Okay. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. Bro, I literally went to college for this. Disagree. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. I think this kind of goes back to that honesty question. So I'm going to say slightly disagree. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Well, yes and no, because it is important to prioritize yourself, but I think chores are a way of prioritizing yourself, keeping your space clean, cooking, whether that is a chore on your list, I don't know. It is on mine because I don't really enjoy cooking. I would love to say yes, but the procrastinator inside me is saying no. I'm gonna go slightly disagree on this one. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. This is very much exposing me as a complete people pleaser. My goodness. I'm gonna say disagree. You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. We're just gonna let that one go. Your mood can change very quickly. Yep, I'm guilty of that. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I'm gonna say disagree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Procrastination is bad. I understand that, but I am guilty of it. Who isn't? Unless you are like a god of productivity. I have been better at this, so I'm gonna say disagree. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Debating? I'm gonna say disagree, because yes, it is important to be involved. But that is very much an extrovert thing, in my opinion. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Yeah, you become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I would say yes, unless it's dealing with a topic that I enjoy. For instance, I love astrophysics and astronomy. I took several courses of that in my high school and college career. So that's something that very much fascinates me. So if it were something along the lines of that, I would say very strongly disagree. But if it's literally anything else, I would probably agree. I'm gonna go with this middle stage here. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Agree very strongly. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. I would say disagree. I'll give it the second notch from the strongest, I think. You rarely second guess the choices that you've made. Rarely? I have been better about this as well, though. I'm gonna go neutral on this. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. Outgoing is extroverted. In my professional development, I have developed an outgoing persona when I'm dealing with people, especially working in customer service. I would say that I kind of have that alternate personality, if you will, so I'm gonna honor that, I guess, with this answer. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Heck yeah. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. I'm gonna say neutral because I use both. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. You rarely feel insecure. You avoid making phone calls. Ha! Agree. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. That is important for personal growth. I am very much introverted. I think that very much plays into that as far as I'm interpreting it right now. I'm going to say disagree. I'm sorry. You can easily connect with people you have just met. I would say very much agree. By friends and family, I have been called a sort of empath. So I connect very deeply with people I interact with. I feel like that kind of fits with my quiet and introverted nature, though. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I would say agree. I am very much like a one-track mind, if you will. I like to focus on what I'm working on, especially if it's something I'm really passionate about. If I'm writing something or editing something, I don't like those plans to be derailed, so I'm gonna go strongly agree. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. We're just gonna move right past that one. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. I think I'm interested in that. I'm gonna say this one. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I'm gonna say this one here. I would like to think that I'm in control of myself, but sometimes it is difficult. As many of you may know. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical or efficient. Yikes, lots of these are exposing how much of a people pleaser I am. I'm gonna go agree here. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'm a very creative person, and when I get those sort of creative highs, I would definitely agree with that. Pretty much in every other area, though, I would like to think I am organized and consistent. In this case, I'm gonna go agree, kind of in the middle. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. That happens quite often, actually. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Ah, heck yeah. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I don't think so at all. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres. No. Strongly disagree.
Ew.
Disgusting.
If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. This one really plays into like the sort of spiritual aspect, if that makes sense. Yes, there's that gut instinct, but there's also like a feeling of the soul that I feel like I get a lot of the time. For me to act on something, it does require more than just me thinking, that might be good. So I will go the second highest of agree. I think this is the last page. We're almost there. You often feel overwhelmed. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I would say so. I'm really good at that usually. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow steps. Yes and no. I do like exercising my creative mind and finding those solutions, but my introverted self is very much more comfortable in following steps. But I would say right now I'm leaning towards more so agree, so I'm going to go the most neutral part of agree. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. I feel like this same question was asked earlier, just reworded. I do remember when this point was brought up, I did mention that I am an emotional being, while I value logical reasoning. I think I'm gonna go the first level of agree here. You struggle with deadlines. Not really. Occasionally I do when I experience burnout, so I'm gonna go semi-disagree. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Lately I have been more pessimistic about life, but that could be just depression in general. I like to feel hopeful though, so I'm gonna go agree. Here we go. Yes! Oh my gosh, I got the same one! INFJ-T. As an INFJ advocate, you possess a unique combination of idealism and insight that sets you apart in today's world. Your rich inner life is characterized by complex emotions, vivid imagination, and a deep well of empathy that allows you to connect with others on a profound level.
Wow.
You have an unwavering commitment to your principles and an intense desire to make a positive impact on the world around you. Your natural ability to understand and interpret the feelings and motivations of others is both a gift and a challenge. While it enables you to form deep, meaningful connections and offer invaluable support to those around you, it can also leave you feeling overwhelmed by the emotions and needs of others. You often find yourself torn between your desire to help and your need for privacy and solitude. Wow, do I feel exposed. That sums me up to a T. I remember the last time I took this test, it was with my friend group and we talked about it, and one of my friends also got the same personality type and she also got T, and I remember that means turbulent. I remember there are two different categories with that. So I think this is the difference between the two. The T stands for turbulent, and then there's A, which stands for assertive, I think. Let's read the rest here. Your perfectionist tendencies drive you to constantly improve yourself and the world around you. This relentless pursuit of growth and meaning can be both exhilarating and exhausting. You have a knack for seeing potential and possibilities where others might not, but you may struggle to bring your visionary ideas into reality due to self-doubt of fear or criticism. Dude, oh my gosh. It's saying what I knew but couldn't realize, if that makes sense. You possess a rare combination of creativity and analytical ability. Your intuitive understanding of complex systems and human nature allows you to devise innovative solutions to challenging problems. However, your sensitivity to criticism and tendency to internalize stress can sometimes hold you back from fully expressing your unique gifts. Learning to balance your idealism with practicality and self-care is a key part of your personal journey. This is so interesting. I feel like I need to really go in depth here and study what this breakdown is. I know that you can access all of these different personality types on the website. You can read up on all of them, because I remember looking at some of my other friends' personality types and reading up on those just to learn more about them and how they fit into their life, I suppose. But yeah, I'll go ahead and leave the link to the website in the description. Go ahead and take your own test. See what your personalities are. I think it's a really fun way to learn about yourself more, even shape your life in a better fashion. I can already tell that by going in depth and studying this, it's really going to help me to understand myself more and to really unlock my possibilities. I encourage you all to go ahead and do some research on your own. It might be a fun time. Who knows? You might discover something new about yourself, something unexpected, and of course, like I did, something completely expected. This was a fun little experiment. Thanks for coming along the journey with me. Until next time, keep dreaming. Bye!